Let's Hello friends. Today we will learn about enzymes. Second part of enzyme, that is weak acid and bases. A weak acid or the conjugate acid of a weak base can be treated using the same formalism, that is acid Ha gives rise to H plus A minus. Base means Ha plus gives rise to H plus A. First, an acid dissociation constant is defined as Ka equals to H A as whole H as whole A divided by Ha as whole. Electrical charges are omitted from subsequent equations for the sake of generality, and its value is assumed to have been determined by experiment. This being so, there are three unknown concentrations Ha, H plus and A minus to determine by calculation. Two additional equations are needed. One way to provide them is to apply the law of mass conservation in terms of the two reagents H and A. Ca equals to A plus Ha. Ch equals to H plus Ha. C stands for analytical concentration. In some text, one mass balance equation is placed by an equation of charge balance. This is satisfactory for simple cases like this one, but is more difficult to apply to more complicated cases as those below. Together with the equation defining K, there are now three equations in three unknowns. When an acid is dissolved in water, Ca equals to Ch equals to Ca. The concentration of acid, so A equals to H. After some further algebraic manipulation of equation in the hydrogen ion concentration may be obtained. Let's know about isoelectric point Pi. The isoelectric point Pi, pH, I and IEP is the pH at which a particular molecule carries no net electrical charges. The isoelectric point or isoionic point is the pH at which the amino acid does not migrate in an electric field. This means it is the pH at which amino acid is neutral, that is zwitterion form is dominant. Surfaces naturally charged to form a double layer. In the common case, when the surface charge determining ions are H plus or OH minus, the next surface charge is affected by the pH of the liquid in which the solid is submerged. For an amino acid with only one amine and one carboxyl group, the Pi can be calculated from the mean of the pK as of this molecule. That is Pi equals to pKa1 plus pKa2 divided by 2. The pH of an electrophoretic gel is determined by the buffer used for that gel. If the pH of the buffer is above the Pi of the protein being run, the protein will migrate to the positive pole. If the pH of the buffer is below the Pi of the protein being run, the protein will migrate to the negative pole of the gel. If the protein is run with a buffer pH that is equal to the Pi, it will not migrate at all. This is also true for the individual amino acids. This is most readily appreciated when you realize that at very acidic pH, the amino acid will have an overall positive charge, and at very basic pH, the amino acid will have an overall negative charge. For the simplest amino acid, glycine, pKa1 equals to 2.34 and pKa2 equals to 9.6, Pi equals to 5.97. Acidic side chain. Let's know about acidic side chain. The Pi will be at a lower pH because the acidic side chain introduces an extra negative charge. So the neutral form exists under more acidic conditions when the extra negative has been neutralized. For example, for aspartic acid, the neutral the neutral form is dominant between pH 1.88 and 3.65. Pi is halfway between these two values, that is Pi equals to half of pKa1 plus pKa3. So Pi equals to 2.77. Let's know about basic side chains. The Pi will be at a higher pH because the basic side chain introduces an extra positive charge. So the neutral form exists under more basic conditions when the extra positive has been neutralized. For example, for histidine, the neutral form is the dominant between pH 6.00 and 9.17. Pi is halfway between these two values, that is Pi equals to half of pKa2 plus pKa3. So Pi equals to 7.59. Let's know about enzymes work. How enzyme works. For two molecules to react, they must collide with one another. They must collide in the right direction and with sufficient energy. Sufficient energy means that between them they have enough energy to overcome the energy barrier to reaction. This is called the activation energy. Enzymes have an active site. This is part of the molecule that has just the right shape and functional group to bind to one of the reacting molecules. The reactive molecule that binds to the enzyme is called the substrate. An enzyme catalyzed reaction takes a different route. The enzyme and substrate form a reaction intermediate. Its formation has a lower activation energy than the reaction between reactants without a catalyst. So, enzyme the enzyme is used to form a reaction intermediate, but when this reacts with another reactant, the enzyme reforms. Let's know about lock and key theory. What do you mean by lock and key theory or hypothesis? This is the simplest model to represent how the enzyme works. The substrate simply feeds into the active site to form a reaction intermediate, like a lock in a key. Enzyme is like a lock and substrate is like key. This creates enzyme substrate complex. Induced fit theory. Let's know about induced fit theory or hypothesis. In this model, the enzyme molecule changes shape as the substrate molecule gets close. The change in shape is induced by the approaching substance molecule. This is more sophisticated model relies on the fact that molecules are flexible because single covalent bonds are free to rotate. Free energy of enzymes. To fully understand how enzymes operate, we need to consider two thermodynamic properties of the reaction. First is the free energy difference. The free energy difference between the products and reactants, and the second is the energy required to initiate the conversion of reactants to products. The former determines whether the reaction will be spontaneous, whereas the latter determines the rate of reaction. The enzymes affect only the latter. First, we will consider the thermodynamics of the reaction. The free energy change of a reaction tells us if the reaction can occur spontaneously. A reaction can occur spontaneously only if delta G is negative. Such reactions are said to be exergonic. A system is an equilibrium and no net change can take place if delta G is 0. A reaction cannot occur spontaneously if delta G is positive. As input of free energy is required to drive such a reaction, these reactions are termed endergonic. Two additional points need to be emphasized. The delta G of a reaction depends only on the free energy of the product. minus the free energy of the reactants. The mechanism of a reaction has no effect on delta G. That is, the delta G of a reaction is independent of the path. The delta G provides no information about the rate of reaction. The standard free energy change of a reaction means, let's consider the reaction A plus B gives rise to C plus D. The delta G of this reaction is given by delta G equals to delta G degree RT in CD divided by integration of C, integration of D divided by integration of A and integration of B, where delta G is the standard free energy change, R is the gas constant, T is the absolute temperature, and A, B, C, D are the molar concentrations of the reaction. Delta G degree is the free energy change for this reaction under standard conditions. The standard free energy change at pH 7 denoted by the symbol delta G degree. At equilibrium, delta G equals to 0, and from the above equation, 0 equals to, as delta G equals to 0, so 0 equals to delta G degree plus RT in CD by AD. Delta G degree equals to minus RT in. The equilibrium constant under standard condition KQ is defined as K equilibrium equals to delta G degree equals to minus RT ln K equation. Delta G degree equals to minus 2.303 RT log 10 K equilibrium. Enzyme accelerate the attainment of equilibrium but do not shift their positions, and the equilibrium position is a function only of the free energy difference between reactants and products. That is, equilibrium would be attained rapidly in the presence of a suitable enzyme. Factors affecting catalytic activity of enzymes. First is temperature. As the temperature rises, reacting molecules have more and more kinetic energy. This increases the chances of a successful collision, and so the rate increases. There is a certain temperature at which an enzyme's catalytic activity is at least at its greatest. This optimal temperature is usually around human body temperature, that is 37.5 degrees centigrade for the enzymes in human cells. Now temperature. How temperature affects enzyme. Each enzyme works within quite a small pH range. There is a pH at which its activity is greatest. This is because changes in pH can make and break intra and intermolecular bonds, changing the shape of the enzyme and therefore its effectiveness. Let's know about concentration of enzyme and substrate. The rate of the enzyme catalyzed reaction depends on the concentration of the enzyme and substrate. As the concentration of either is increased, the rate of reaction increases. For a given enzyme concentration, the rate of reaction increases with increasing substrate concentration up to a point, above which any further increase in substrate concentration produces no significant change in reaction rate. This is because the active site of the enzyme molecules at any given moment are virtually saturated with substrate. The enzyme or substrate complex has to dissociate before the active site are free to accommodate more substrate. Provided that the substrate concentration is high and the temperature and pH are kept constant, the rate of reaction is proportional to the enzyme concentration. Inhibition of enzyme activity. Let's know about inhibition of enzyme activity. Some substrates reduce or even stop the catalytic activity of enzymes in biochemical reactions. They block or distort the active site. These chemicals are called inhibitors because they inhibit reactions. Enzyme reaction rates can be decreased by various types of enzyme inhibitors. There are different types of inhibitors. First is competitive inhibition. Let's know about competitive inhibition. First point. In competitive inhibition, the inhibitor and substrate compete for the enzyme. Often competitive inhibitors strongly resemble the real substrate of the enzyme. For example, the methotrexate Methotrexate is a competitive inhibitor of the enzyme dihydroxyfolate reductase, which catalyzes the reduction of dihydrofolate to tetrahydrofolate. On-competitive inhibition. In on-competitive inhibition, the inhibitor cannot bind to the free enzyme, only to the enzyme substrate complex. The enzyme substrate complex thus formed is enzymatically inactive. This type of inhibition is rare but may occur in multimeric enzymes. Let's know about the third type of inhibition, that is non-competitive inhibition. Non-competitive inhibitors can bind to the enzyme at the binding site at the same time as the substrate, but not to the active site. Both the EI and EIS complex, enzyme substrate complexes, are enzymatically active because the inhibitor cannot be driven from the enzyme by higher substrate concentration. The apparent Vmax changes. But because the substrate can still bind to the enzyme, the Km stays the same. Now, let's know about mixed inhibition. This type of inhibition resembles the non-competitive except that the EIS complex has residual enzymatic activity. This type of inhibitor does not follow Michaelis-Menten equation. In many organisms, inhibitors may act as part of a feedback mechanism. If an enzyme produces too much of one substance in the organism, that substance may act as an inhibitor for the enzyme at the beginning of the pathway that produces it, causing production of the substance to slow down or stop when there is sufficient amount. This is a form of negative feedback. Enzymes that are subject to this form of regulation are often multimeric and have allosteric binding sites for regulatory substances. Their substrate or velocity plots are not hyperbola but sigmoidal. The enzyme the coenzyme folic acid and the anti-cancer drug methotrexate are very similar in structure. As a result, methotrexate is a competitive inhibitor of many enzymes that use folate. Measurement of velocity. V equals to rate of appearance of product equals to change in P per unit time. P means plot of P versus time. Experimentally, forward velocity Vf denoted by Vf equals to slope of plot of P versus time, because Vf equals to Kfs equals to delta P by delta T. Determining initial velocity, that is VO. We measure initial velocity VO, the slope of P versus time at very early time after mixing enzyme with substrate. Third point is V0 versus S plots. Simple uncatalyzed S gives rise to P reaction, shows linear dependence of V0 on S. Enzyme catalyzed reaction show a hyperbolic dependence of B0 on S. Rate is saturable. There's a maximum rate for any single concentration of enzyme. Rate is proportional to E total at any single concentration of S. V0 equals to C of E V double bond V0 double bond Ce. Half maximal valve velocity occurs at a specific substrate concentration independent of E. Km equals to substrate concentration, that gives V0 equals to half V max. Let's know about Michaelis-Menten model to explain hyperbolic dependence of V0 on S in enzyme catalyzed reactions. Before the chemistry occurs, enzyme binds substrate to make a non-covalent ES complex. E plus S gives rise to ES gives rise to E plus P. Turnover number of substrate molecules converted into product by one molecule of enzyme active site per unit time when enzyme is fully saturated with substrate. K2 equals to K2 in scheme, that is Kcat in general form. Kcat means turnover number. Let's know about Michaelis-Menten equation in explain hyperbolic V0 versus S curve. At very low, V0 approaches Vmax by Km. S Vmax and Km are constant. So linear relationship between V0 and S at low. When S equals to Km, V0 equals to half Vmax. At very high S, V0 approaches Vmax. Meaning of Km. Km equals to substrate concentration at which velocity V is exactly half of Vmax. Km is a substrate concentration. Compare Km equals to Kes. E plus S gives rise to Es. E means enzyme, S means substrate, Es is enzyme substrate complex. Let's know about kinetic parameters used to characterize enzyme activity. Kinetic parameters useful for many comparison. Example, effects of enzyme inhibitors on Km and Vmax is basis of diagnosis of type of inhibition. Effects immediately apparent on a double reciprocal plot. Let's know about some specific uses. Enzyme preference for different substrates. The higher the Kcat by Km, the better the enzyme works on that substrate. Example, chymotrypsin, protease that clearly prefers to cleave after bulky, hydrophobic and aromatic side chains. Substrate preferences of chymotrypsin. Chymotrypsin also catalyzes hydrolysis of ester bonds whose carboxylic acid component has a bulky, hydrophobic and or aromatic R group. Amino acids listed in Borg et al. Table are the groups that contribute the carbonyl group to the ester bond being hydrolyzed by the enzyme. That is glycine, valine, norvaline, norleucine, phenylalanine. These are the amino acids in esters. Catalytic efficiency of enzymes. The higher the Kcat by Km, the more efficient the enzyme is. Maximum possible k cat divided by km dictated by the diffusion limit. Let's know some unique points. The area of catalytic RNA ribozymes was launched in earnest by the discovery of RNA that catalyzes its own self-spacing. Adivalent. Adivalent cation is essential for the functioning of the smallest ribosomes known the hammerhead ribosomes, which can be catalytically active with as few as 43 nucleotides. Enzymes are antibodies that catalyze specific chemical reactions that is function as enzymes. Ribonucleases that have 13,700 MW is another example of a protein with tertiary structure. Ribonuclease molecule consists of 124 amino acid units contained in a single polypeptide chain with 4 disulfide bridges. Allosteric enzymes are an exception to the Michaelis-Menten model. Because they have more than 2 subunits and active sites, they do not obey the Michaelis-Menten kinetics but instead have sigmoidal kinetics. Since allosteric enzymes are cooperative, a sigmoidal plot of V0 versus S results. Properties of allosteric enzymes. There are distinct properties of allosteric enzymes that makes it different compared to other enzymes. One is that allosteric enzymes do not follow the Michaelis-Menten kinetics. This is because allosteric enzymes have multiple active sites. These multiple active sites exhibit the property of cooperativity, where the binding of one active site affects the affinity of other active sites on the enzyme. As mentioned earlier, it is these other affected active sites that result in a sigmoidal curve for allosteric enzymes. Allosteric enzymes are influenced by substrate concentration. For example, at high concentrations of substrate, more enzymes are found in the R state. The T state is favored when there is an insufficient amount of substrate to bind to the enzyme. In other words, the T and R state equilibrium depends on the concentration of the substrate. Allosteric enzymes are regulated by other molecules. This is seen when the molecules 2,3 BPH, BPG, pH and carbon dioxide modulates the binding affinity of hemoglobin to oxygen. 2,3 BPH reduces binding affinity of oxygen to hemoglobin by stabilizing the T state. Lowering the pH from physiological pH equals to 7.4 to 7.2 favors the release of oxygen. Hemoglobin is more likely to release oxygen in carbon dioxide rich areas in the body. Enzyme regulation. These regulatory enzymes exhibit increased or decreased catalytic activity in response to certain signals. The activities of regulatory enzymes are modulated in a variety of ways. Allosteric enzymes function through reversible non-covalent binding of regulatory compounds called allosteric modulators or allosteric effectors, which are generally small metabolites or cofactors. Example fructose 1,6 biphosphatase. Covalently modulated enzymes are regulated by reversible covalent modification. Both cases of regulatory enzymes tend to be multi-subunit proteins, and in some cases, the regulatory sites and the active site are on separate subunits. Metabolic systems have at least two other mechanisms of enzyme regulation. Some enzymes are stimulated or inhibited when they are bound by separate regulatory proteins. Others are activated when peptide segments are removed by proteolytic cleavage. Unlike effector mediated regulation, regulation by proteolytic cleavage is irreversible. Let's know about allosteric enzymes. Allosteric enzymes generally have one or more regulatory or allosteric sites for binding the modulator. Allosteric proteins are those having other shapes or conformations induced by the binding of modulators. The modulators for allosteric enzymes may be inhibitory or stimulatory. With the substrate itself, regulatory enzyme for which substrate and modulator are identical are called homotropic. The effect is similar to that of oxygen binding to hemoglobin binding of the ligand or substrate. In the case of enzymes, causes conformational changes that affect the subsequent activity of other sites on the protein. When the modulator is a molecule other than the substrate, the enzyme is said to be heterotropic. On-competitive and mixed inhibitors although binds at a second site on the enzyme, but they do not necessarily mediate conformational changes between active and inactive forms and have distinct kinetic effects. Allosteric enzymes are generally larger and more complex than non-allosteric enzymes. Most have two or more subunits. Aspartate transcarbamylase, which catalyzes an early reaction in the biosynthesis of pyrimidine nucleotides, has 12 polypeptide chains organized into catalytic and regulatory subunits. Thank you.